Welcome to Movie Caps. Today I will show you a drama, sci-fi, thriller film from 2011, titled Take Shelter. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins in Ohio, with Curtis having an apocalyptic dream, visual and auditory hallucinations of rain like fresh motor oil. He hides all of this from his wife, Samantha, and their deaf daughter, Hannah. After having breakfast and discussing their day plans, Curtis departs for work at a construction company. Because of heavy rainfall, Curtis' job falls short, and he visits a bar with his friends. After driving his friend Duarte home late at night, they are talking inside the car about Curtis having a wonderful life. Things aren't as pretty as they always seem, he answers before Duarte's wife comes to pick him up. Curtis gets home, checks on his daughter, Samantha hugs him from behind, and tells that Hannah still doesn't play with other children, and she is worried about her. And also asks Curtis to clean up the trash pile in the back. Curtis is picking up the trash pile, a massive storm is coming, lightning hits the ground, and the dog is barking like he has rabies. The dog attacks Curtis, and he wakes up. It was another one of his dreams. He sits at the table and gets worried about their dog acting up like in his dream. At work, Curtis is still looking at his hand, feeling anxious about his vision, not paying attention to what his superiors are briefing him on. Before continuing work, Curtis visits a store to buy a doghouse and a fence for their dog. As they continue work, Curtis sees a swarm of blackbirds. He starts to sense that it might be an omen. At home, Curtis forgot about their visit to Hannah's deaf school to spend time with her. Samantha is mildly disappointed. All of Curtis's apocalyptic dreams always start with heavy rain that has the substance of oil. This one was no exception. With him driving Hannah, no road visibility, he crashes and has a hallucination of someone taking his daughter and strangling him, which makes him wake up gasping for air. Samantha and Hannah are going to their sales booth while Curtis stays home because he looks sick. Curtis builds his dog a fenced doghouse and apologizes to him. It just has to be like that for now. He finds a key for the shelter and checks its condition. At the sales booth, Samantha is annoyed at a customer that underpriced her product but still makes the sale for customer's price, meaning money is an issue for them. Samantha asks Curtis why he put his dog outside. He has always been an inside dog. Without giving much of an explanation, he says that it's his dog and he will be out. A moment later, Curtis is having another nightmare. It's raining, and his daughter is looking outside through the window. As Curtis comes closer, a man is standing there. It scares him. The ground starts to shake, electricity goes off, the man from outside is trying to break in. The whole furniture levitates as if the house is falling. Curtis looks like he is in excruciating pain. He wakes up and realizes he has wetted the bed. His wife comes in, still worried about him not feeling well, asks if she should cancel today's dinner. Curtis says it's okay. He will be fine. After cleaning up bed sheets, he takes his daughter to the library and gets a book on mental illness. While heading home, Curtis visits a shop and stocks up on canned provisions. Back at home, Samantha is with guests at the table. When he arrives, she scolds him for being late. Curtis is disappointed. He tells everyone at the table that he is going to clean up the shelter. In the morning, he sees a doctor, whom he asks for medicine for sleep. Since he had 4 restless nights, the doctor said, it's too early to judge. Still, after explaining his situation, he gives him a prescription and a number for a psychiatrist in Columbus. Curtis takes the sleeping pills, and it looks like they worked wonders, finally a calm night's sleep. At the table, his wife even points out that he looks much better. At his job, Curtis gets scared by the sound of thunder, but Duarte doesn't hear anything, and the skies are clear. He started having a panic attack, even vomiting, so he took off his job. Curtis's anxiety is taking a turn, so he decides to channel it into building a shelter. He buys a container and later visits his mom Sarah, who has paranoid schizophrenia. It surfaced in her about the same age as Curtis is now. He decided to know how it all started for her, thinking maybe he also is mentally ill. As Curtis is filling up his car with gas, he calls to cancel an appointment with a psychiatrist in Columbus because it's far and money is tight. However, he is still calculating his expenses for shelter construction. Later, he is taking a home improvement loan he can ill afford to start building the shelter without telling his wife. Curtis tells Duarte about his idea to build a shelter and asks for his help. Duarte asks if he is alright, he answers that he is not. Curtis sees a counselor at a free clinic, with whom he talks about his family's psychological history. Unfortunately, the counselor cannot help Curtis since she is not a certified psychotherapist. Curtis has difficulty distinguishing his hallucinations from reality, with his wife and daughter in the back seat. He asks, is anyone seeing this? Lightning striking the ground. Curtis breaks work rules by borrowing equipment from his work, and his friend Duarte is helping him with the shelter construction. Samantha returns home from the booth sale and is mildly disappointed at Curtis for not mentioning shelter construction or home improvement loan. He still refuses to explain to her his nightmares. Samantha calls an ambulance after Curtis takes more than the prescribed dose of a sedative and has a seizure. He recovers, then finally explains the truth to her, including his dreams. Curtis describes it as well as he can and hopes that Samantha will understand his recent behavior. He also explains his last vision, where Duarte attacked him with a pickaxe. Following that, Curtis decided to go to higher-ups and asked to remove Duarte from his crew. He and Samantha prepare for the cochlear implant surgery Hannah will undergo in 6 weeks, paid by Curtis's work insurance. Curtis's brother comes to visit, Cale. He gives him his dog. In another dream, Curtis hears thunder, and his wife is standing soaked in the kitchen, staring at him without a word, and behind her a knife. He becomes scared of his wife. Having been informed of the borrowed work equipment, Curtis's boss fires him and gives him only 2 weeks' worth of medical insurance benefits. Samantha slaps him and leaves with their daughter. After discovering that his counselor at the free clinic has suddenly transferred and been replaced with a new one, he walks out. Tensions linger between Curtis and Samantha over his job loss at such a crucial time for their family. Curtis gets worried that Samantha might leave him, so Curtis agrees to see an actual psychiatrist, and Samantha demands that they attend a social function so she can restore some sense of normalcy to their strained, increasingly isolated life, using the money they saved for the beach trip. While attending the Lions Club community canteen, a bitter Duarte confronts Curtis for cutting him loose after all they've been through. Duarte is provoked and punches him. Enraged, Curtis knocks Duarte to the floor, overturns a table, and unleashes a frightening verbal tirade upon everyone present. He prophetically shouts that a devastating storm is coming, insisting that none of them is prepared. He is putting the whole neighborhood against them. While Curtis is fixing his car, Hannah wanders off to the street. He grabs her and sees a swarm of blackbirds flying and a storm approaching. Birds start suddenly falling from the sky, and a tornado warning is heard. It was a dream, except for the tornado warning sound. They grab Hannah and head to the shelter. Equipping the gas masks, they fall asleep. Samantha wakes Curtis up, prompting him to take off the mask. She asks him to open the door, but he asserts that the storm isn't over yet. Samantha pleads to open the door that it's his imagination, outside is calm. After a tense standoff, Curtis throws open the doors into the blinding sun. A strong but bearable storm has passed, and neighbors are cleaning up broken tree limbs and other yard debris as power company trucks restore electricity along the street. A psychiatrist advises the couple to go through with their planned annual beach vacation, but that Curtis will need to get psychiatric care in a facility away from his family upon their return. At Myrtle Beach, while Curtis is building sandcastles with Hannah, she signs the word storm. As Samantha exits their beach house, the thick, oily rain that Curtis spoke of begins to fall, staining her outstretched hand. Samantha looks up to a bigger version of the ominous storm clouds Curtis had seen, massing over the ocean. Tornado-like waterspouts reach down to the ocean's surface, and the tide pulls back as a tsunami looms in the distance. Samantha and Curtis exchange glances as Samantha assuringly whispers, "Okay." The scene cuts to black, leaving the truth of the reality a mystery. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.